StarCast is proudly sponsored by DoghouseSystems.com. If you use the code StarCast or Biscuit at checkout, you will get double memory on your next Doghouse system. And also TweakedAudio.com. Go to TweakedAudio.com for high-performance noise-reducing earbuds. Use our code StarCast and get 30% off plus free shipping on your entire order. And finally, SC2QuoteOfTheDay.com. Daily quotes from the StarCraft 2 community. The site may suck, but the quotes are sick. And make sure to go check out their t-shirts in their new store. Once again, that's SC2QuoteOfTheDay.com, and we thank them for their support. Sponsor an episode of StarCast at thestarcast.com.
Hell, it's about damn time for StarCast.
Incoming transmission.
Biscuit.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 137 of StarCast. I'm Garrett Weinzerl, and with me, as always, is Kyle Ferguson. Kyle, dude, happy Thursday.
Oh, happy Thursday. Almost Friday. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's technically my Friday. I don't have to go into work tomorrow, but I won't make you hate me.
Well, what's it down there? Like 70s? We got 18 degrees up here. Every morning is a battle to get out of bed.
It's actually in the, I think, like high 50s tonight. It's pretty cold for Florida.
Well, at least the old people will survive.
Oh, yes. Gotta love that. Anyways, guys, let's introduce. We have a guest this evening joining us for the first time from Team Complexity, and I'm sure Kyle is already happy about this because he's also a Zerg player. Brendon Walker, better known as Ryze. Welcome to the show.
Hello, thanks for having me.
How you doing, man? Now you're from Canada, correct?
Yep. I'm from the little place called Curtis up in Ontario.
Oh, really?
You probably don't know where that is.
We're American, man. So like Canada, it's just like, oh, you're all close to each other, right? And then I talked to my friend in Halifax, and he's like, no, dude, it's I can't meet you in Toronto. We're nowhere near there.
And I mean, us Americans only know the coastal states anyway. The whole middle, other than Texas, no idea.
It's anybody's guess, right?
Yep. Pretty much, yeah. There's like, you know, there's the Carolinas, New York, Maine, California, and then there's just the in-betweens.
The middle area.
I think there's Vegas is somewhere in there. We'll probably be talking a little bit about Vegas later with all the IPL news coming out. But are you currently in Canada?
Yeah, I am right now.
So are you totally freezing your butt up there? Are you like laughing at the face of what I consider cold?
Or what I was complaining about. Yeah.
Yep.
It's like, please, Canada's cold could eat Chicago's cold.
I don't know how to convert it to Fahrenheit, but it's like -10 Celsius here most days, and then the wind takes it to like -20 or -30.
Damn, that is.
So you mostly just
cold.
want to hibernate if you're me right now.
layers.
Put on some extra fat and sit inside.
About to say, yeah, it's now you have an excuse to eat a lot of things that aren't necessarily good for you.
Exactly, it's survival. You gotta stay warm or I'll get a cold.
That's where you guys get your love of bacon from, right?
Yep.
Okay, there we go.
Is that a thing? Canadians love bacon? Oh, Canadian bacon. That's turkey, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, more or less.
14 degrees for us Americans.
Damn, that's cold. I don't think it ever gets that cold in Florida. It hits 30, and we're like, what do we do?
14 is below freezing in Fahrenheit, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. So there is that. So well, hope you're keeping warm, Brendon. But anyways, let's kick it off. So you play for Complexity.
Yep.
I guess let's take us back to the beginning. We always like to ask our guests because they're usually game geeks. Like, where did this all start? How did you become a gamer in the first place? Before StarCraft, or was StarCraft your first game?
All right. No, my first game was probably like Super Mario or something for Nintendo or Super Nintendo. I remember like beating that game with my dad when I was like 5, like way back. But more related to StarCraft, I was first introduced to StarCraft on the N64.
Oh.
I think both of us were as well, and that was a dark introduction.
Oh man, I stayed away from RTSs for so long because of that.
Yeah, I can't believe how hard it was to play that game on the N64 controller. Like, you couldn't even hockey stuff. You just had to like move the thing around. And
Yep.
It's like you're on the slowest mouse speed and you're scrolling around the whole time to do things.
Oh, I remember playing.
One thing at a time.
There was the mission where you first met Kerrigan. You had to drive Rayner's bike down the hill, and
Yeah.
you had to hold down the A button and then drag to make the box. Oh, awful.
Yeah, it was pretty slow, but
I mean,
I still enjoyed it a lot, even though.
Yeah, you see, I had the opposite reaction. I remember getting both StarCraft and Command & Conquer at some point. I don't know why. And playing them both. And I stayed away from RTSs for a long, long time. I think until like my junior year of high school when I finally got my first personal, like it was my computer and I bought Warcraft 3. That was the first that's when I came back to RTSs, but the N64 version of StarCraft scared me away for a long time.
Yeah. I think the Command & Conquer was even worse.
It was terrible. I hated it. And actually, I don't think...
bad.
I'm trying to think. No, I haven't played a Command & Conquer since. Like, it turned it turned me off the whole franchise.
Oh, and the computer was just as good. It would still build those, like, giant red faction lasers and destroy you at the 15-minute mark.
Yeah. Guess I made the game a challenge, though.
Yeah.
But, once I finally got a computer that could play games back then as well, I think I will never go back, or I thought I would never go back to N64 or StarCraft after that.
Yeah, it's rough, and that was like the worst controller to begin with.
Yeah,
you know, a joystick in the center of it, and three grips, because apparently we have 3 hands. Or play with your foot. I don't know.
Yeah, well, at the time though, I guess it was pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely one of my favorite consoles, but man, that controller, that was rough. But, so then, and how'd you ended up getting into like the PC side of things? Like, did you get a PC pretty quickly after you got your N64 version of StarCraft, or was it quite a few years?
Yeah, it was quite a few years till we got a good computer in my family. But then when I did, I got Brood War for it, and I was just playing that online. I never really played Brood War too seriously or competitively because I was always like in school or just not even aware of what eSports was at the time. So I was like playing a lot of Sunken D's and Game Hunters and stuff until like the later years of StarCraft Brood War. I found out what ICC Cup was and stuff because I was starting to get more interested in Melee in the game. And then I gradually moved over into that and became aware of what KESPA was in South Korea and how big StarCraft was over there. And then I thought that was pretty cool, so I started trying to get better at Brood War. And then I realized that I was never going to get good enough to play as good as they were, so I was like, oh no. Because I was only like B rank, only won an IC Cup, and I was just getting destroyed whenever I'd face Koreans at that point. They were crazy. You would like search, and then you would try and find people that didn't type in weird funny letters or symbols so you wouldn't have to get owned.
I mean, I love hearing about those, like the good old Wild West stories. It's very rare we have someone on the show who was here, who was around for Brood War. So those, oh man, I feel like I missed out not being a part of that.
Yeah, I was B rank 1v1, and I actually hit A- 2v2 in IC Cup.
Nice.
Yeah. And then eventually I took the move over to StarCraft 2 when it came out because it was just getting less and less active over in IC Cup. And at the time I was in my last year of college, so I was really only playing at nights, but I was just laddering a lot. Like I was kind of like a ladder warrior back then, I guess. And the way it worked out into me getting on complexity was, partly because of that, and because I was trying to compete in as many online cups as possible back then, like the Play Hims and the US Craft Cups and the Go for SC2 Cups. And what happened for me was, at the time, since it was really like a long time ago, because I'm like one of the most senior members, actually, it's on Complexity's roster. So it was when Complexity was first getting into StarCraft 2, like, because they had never really been involved in StarCraft before. Instead of picking up players, they just picked up a team called Team Nova. And I don't know if you recognize the people that were on it, but like that was like a Starlife and RCP and Ryan and Anti-Mage and Fire Zerg and Ganon. And they wanted another Zerg player because Fire Zerg was their only Zerg. So they just saw that I was high up in the ladder and I was getting up to the semis and rounds of eights and things and online cups. So they invited me to join.
Nice.
Yeah,
Wow,
and that
so
was how I got onto Complexity.
Yeah, wow.
Let's say so. You really have been there for a while then.
Yep.
Damn, that's crazy. So, were there any games for you competitively in between Brood War to StarCraft 2, or did you just stay with StarCraft the whole time?
Stay with StarCraft the whole time. I played Counter-Strike like a little bit, but it was really hard because by the time I got playing it, everybody was so good at it that I was just getting headshotted everywhere I went. So I was like, oh no, I suck. And I went back to playing StarCraft.
Oh, I've been there, man. Counter-Strike was my first proper online game.
Yeah, man, Noob Cannon.
Oh, jeez, that game. I was trying to play that thing on a 56K too. That was rough. Ooh, talk about the old days.
So, has anything changed in the grand scheme of things for teams? I mean, you've been there, watched this thing evolve. Are things different from when they picked you up? Or, I mean, certainly the business side of it has grown.
Yeah, it's a lot different now. I think getting most teams that I guess can actually sponsor players and send them to events and do stuff are really only interested in Koreans or top tier talent these days. It's a lot hard to get recruited into a sponsor team, I feel like. And that's one thing that's changed the most, and not much else really though. StarCraft is still StarCraft, so people are all still the same. I just think it's a lot tougher of competition to get into good teams now.
Oh yeah, I bet. We've been hearing that a lot over the past year.
And there's been quite a bit of talk recently that, and do you agree with this, that tournaments need to maybe redistribute their winnings a bit to support more of a middle class winning circle so that there are more people who can participate in the higher class game?
Yeah, I've always kind of been one of the people that's wished for that, because even personally, I've had a lot of tournaments where I've gone far enough, but not far enough to get anything for it. It really sucks to dedicate your whole night or your whole day to playing in a tournament, and you're 1 or 2 rounds away from money, but then you lose, so it feels like all your time was wasted.
Yeah.
It's tough, so I definitely agree with that. I think there should be, the winnings should be distributed a little bit lower. I would like to see if MLG paid all the way out to getting in the champ bracket, even if it wasn't much, just for getting there.
Yeah, just a little something, just to.
Because they pay out to the top 16 now, I think, but even getting into the champ bracket, which is top 32, is really, really hard these days.
Well, a lot of those are seeds as well.
Yep.
Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong, I'm trying to think, because MLG just announced their winter prize pool, so it's going to be what? Let's see, 2012, 75,000 total, and the first place is going to be 25,000. Isn't it? Is that lower than the most recent MLG?
That seems about normal.
Okay.
Yeah, they've been up and down.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I know they've gotten higher before. I just couldn't remember the exact prize pool from the last one they had.
Yeah.
But so what are you what's currently on your plate, or what's ahead of you?
Well, just right now, the only thing really left to compete in with Wings of Liberty are the IPL qualifiers. It seems like a lot of the daily cups have just kind of disappeared. It seems like Craft Cup I haven't seen around in a long time.
Yeah.
The Playhems have suddenly just vanished all of a sudden, and Go for SC2 Cups are only there for Europe.
Huh.
And all the other major tournaments are planning to do stuff in March, it seems like, and that's when Heart of the Swarm's coming out.
Yeah, that's. Do you think that's the reason we're seeing this kind of, burning down of daily cups? Do you think everyone's just kind of well, no one's really do you think there's a lack of interest in Wings of Liberty?
Somewhat. It feels a little bit played out at this point. A lot of the strategies and the maps, are all kind of streamlined to what's best, and you see a lot of repeat play over and over.
Now, as a Zerg, how do you feel about, kind of there's a lot of complaints about Zerg play currently going around, because you're kind of seeing the same kind of heavy infestor style even after the nerfs.
Yeah, it's a painful subject, honestly, because it sucks on both ends, because it's the only thing you can really do as Zerg, I feel like. And actually, be able to have success in playing. Because if we think back to how Zerg was played before Infestors were really used, it wasn't too pretty back then. It was like ZVP was like a lot of Roach Hydra just being smashed into force fields and then getting melted.
Yeah.
People seem to have easily forgotten about, how bad it was for tournaments when it was all TVT finals and semifinals and rounds of eights and stuff like that.
Yeah, well,
But
my
yeah.
my Zerg friends don't let me forget every time I complain. Like, oh, Garrett, do you remember, like the year and a half where nothing but Terran was winning? Yeah, shut up.
Yeah, I'm not focusing on that either. It's just like it's frustrating for me as a Zerg player because I want to play more aggressively most of the time because it feels more Zergy to play like that. But in actuality, the best strategy to do is to just turtle until you get to this perfect composition of Broodlord and Fester, and it doesn't really feel like a Zergy way to play. So, yeah, I think the nerfs in Wings of Liberty have helped Protoss mainly, but not Terran, and ZVZ is still the same.
Yeah. Have you watched any of the GSL this past week?
Yeah, I've been watching a little bit of it.
I was trying to think, who was it?
Sulky played very well last night.
You're talking about like a swarmy type play. Did you see any of Los Sierra's games from Group E? I loved that. It was really entertaining. He got like 6 queens out and just covered the entire map in tumors, man.
Yeah, it's an awesome style he uses.
Yeah, that was. I really enjoyed that. It was refreshing to. I mean, he still had infestors in there, but it wasn't. It didn't seem like his entire strategy just revolved around them.
And I like it. It's definitely viable against Terran to play that way. But if you watch his games against Party, you can see where it kind of fails.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also partying too. I mean, dang,
Yeah,
the guy, he's like the best Protoss right now. Definitely one of my favorites to watch as far as Protoss are concerned. But yeah, with some great GSL this past week. Actually, that's a good question. So, who are some of the Zergs or some of your favorite pro players that you kind of either look up to or you watch the replays a lot or study?
Hyun was a Zerg I've been following for a little bit. Like, even before his last GSL finals and his success in the Fight Club, I had personally been getting owned by his own hands in the online cups, and I saw how many he was winning this over and over so consistently. So I was like, man, like why is this guy so solid and so good? So like I would be watching like any VODs I could of Hyun most recently. Life, I like his play too. It's really like low ego and aggressive as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's really just been on top lately too.
Yeah.
Especially at the end of the year. It just seemed like all it was is, Life won another tournament.
This GSL is so hard because this round of 16 coming up is going to be like the most stacked one ever, and I'm just torn with indecision on who I actually want to win.
I know.
As you call the Zergs too. Like, Symbol, I really like, DRG is always there. It's tough, man.
Kyle here is like the biggest DRG fan ever. We were talking before the show. We were like, oh, man, we've got so much GSL to talk about this week. He's like, I know, but they're screwing me over because tomorrow is DRG and Stefano.
Oh, my goodness. The wait. So,
Yeah.
Have you participated much in the beta for Heart of the Swarm yet?
Here and there. I haven't been committing too much time for it because I was still like trying to keep in the Wings of Liberty mindset for the IPL qualifiers.
Sure. And yeah, I'm sure going into a tournament going, if only I had this would not be a good thought process.
Yeah, and not only that, but also like with Infestors being so pivotal to Zerg play right now, like Infestors are totally different in Heart of the Swarm compared to Wings of Liberty. So like it can really screw up your control of them as well if you're playing one game instead of the other.
Yeah.
I think we had a clan war against Root a little while ago, and Cats played, and he was actually complaining during it because he was using Heart of the Swarm Infestors so much that he couldn't control his Infestors Wings of Liberty.
Oh, they're so much better than the...
So off, yeah.
Yeah. Well, do you think... I mean, you mentioned, right now, pretty standard that Zerg has to turtle up and get to Hive Tech. Do you think that's changed in Heart of the Swarm?
Yeah, it feels like you can be a lot more aggressive now. Like, you can just get a Hive and then get up to Vipers, and all your Lair Tech army units are still useful with Blinding Cloud and Pull. That's really nice. So it lets you play like a really unit-heavy, upgrade-heavy style where you can be, like kind of like the Storm Zerg was back in Brood War, or Sauron Zerg, if you want to call it that. can expand a lot and just keep attacking. Swarm hosts are pretty cool to use as well. I really miss the old ones where the locusts just killed everything. But,
You mean the broken as hell ones? That's
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
have those back if I can have the Warhound back. That's
well,
I'll let
I
it
can
slide.
get like 20 of those. I can just burrow them and then go AFK. I can win the game later.
All right. So that's yeah. I've been enjoying the swarm host too. So you just do you like the space control, or what is it about them that you really enjoy?
They just feel kind of like lurkers did, even though they're
Hmm.
not. You like just like being able to move them around and burrow and attack an area, then burrow out. They're really good defensively too. Like if you can get them burrowed in a good spot, and then it just keeps pushing into his base and his army, and he has to scan to deal with them, and it kind of feels like a brood war where you're backing up with lurkers to delay a tear and push by burrowing and unburrowing and forcing the scan each time.
Yeah.
I like just being able to harass with them too. You can burrow them at different locations and hit more than one base at once. I think we might even see swarm host drops in the future.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I've seen them in the beta, but I'm not exactly playing at super high level. So
yeah. I think it's a really cool unit. Once we get a lot of time spent playing the game to use it, some good strategies will come out. And Vipers too just help a lot of the weaknesses in Zerg's play.
Is there anything you've noticed throughout the beta and the updates that you feel like won't make it through another month?
yeah, because we've gone 2 or 3 weeks now without a balance update, right?
I'm honestly in shock that Thor change is still in effect, the one that changes between doing damage to light and
Where they have
more
to,
damage.
Yeah, they have to change their gun mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now I think one of the things that's hard to deal with for Terran though is Reapers. Like they move faster than it feels like you're playing like patch 1.0 again, where people are just rushing you with Reapers and you're getting killed. Because with that new thing where they can build without the tech lab, a lot of people are just going like double proxy barracks Reapers. And since they move so fast and heal, you can like never kill them. And eventually he'll just get enough to like come in and kill your queens and then keep kiting your Zerglings. It's really tough to deal with that.
So
I don't know.
you think they should either add back the tech lab restriction or maybe bring their health back down to where it was?
No, maybe I think it's either the speed or the healing needs some kind of, just tinkering around with.
Yeah, because correct me if I'm wrong. When they removed the tech lab, they slightly increased their movement speed, but they got rid of the nitro pack upgrade.
And the
Yeah, they
bonus
did.
damage against light.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't do a lot of damage now. So like with one there, it's just like it's poking you, but once there's like 4 and they're moving around so fast, just picking things off, and then they go out and they heal and they come back, and then it's like 6, and they pick stuff off and they go out and heal and come back and there's 8. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
One of the big changes we had 2 weeks ago was the burrow on hatchery. Have you utilized that at all? Or because in my own play, it's a queen delay, and I'm so used to having 3 queens by the time I get to layer that getting burrow along the way seems a bit of a waste of time.
I think it's most useful in ZVP because if you get it, it means you can delay your layer a little bit, and you can drone harder. You can stay on hatch tech for longer and be safe against earlier timings because you can just burrow. And even it helps with, against Oracle and Phoenix Harass as well, because if you have queens at a position or a drone line not protected, you can just burrow them right away.
Ah, huh.
Okay,
Yeah.
so defensive
feel-
burrow.
I feel like it's really great against Protoss, and sometimes you can hold off. You can hold off like big all-ins with like Banelings and Lings and Burrow now, if he doesn't have observers. So I like that for ZVP. In ZVZ and ZVT though, I think I'd agree more with you. It doesn't feel like you'd want to really rush up for it.
Yeah, I mean, we were joking around when it was first announced that it's like, oh god, no, early Baneling mines are going to be kind of scary, but we really haven't seen much of that in either of our play. But yeah, it's it's crazy. I mean, how like the overall picture? How do you think about the changes? Because I remember when the beta first came out, it seemed like all the changes seemed kind of like really boring, and they were constantly nerfing things, and then somewhere around the halfway mark, they're just like, let's just buff the hell out of everything. It just, to me, it seemed kind of nuts overall. How do you feel looking at it, like at the big picture of the progression of the beta so far?
Well, I feel like with StarCraft 2 and its Liberty, we got StarCraft, but it was just a skeleton. It was just bones all put together. And now with Heart of the Swarm, we're getting like, tendons and ligaments and little nerves and things put in there, and it's starting to look and shape up into be a bit of a better game than what it has been previously. So I think it is all moving towards a good direction, and Blizzard also seems to be paying a lot more attention now to what we're saying to them. Like even with their private forum they invited everybody that was a WCS that qualified for it into like a private feedback forum for the beta, and they've been like directly communicating with pro gamers and stuff in there on balance concerns and design things. So
that is awesome.
I think it's moving into a good direction now.
Yeah.
Is that forum like a shining example of what forums should be, or is it like every single other one? Some people are complaining, some people are being normal.
Oh, it's actually a shining example.
Oh, really?
Nice.
That's great.
It's also, yeah.
There's no one that's just a troll, even though they're a pro gamer.
Yeah, it's OP's crap.
Nope.
God, Kyle, can you imagine a world where there are like no religion debates started on a video game forum?
That's excellent. I also like to imagine that, you guys being on a team, a new game's coming out, that you guys have a lot of meetings, kind of like, locker room sort of style, where the coach is standing up front and drawing lots of circles. And do you guys actually strategize this way?
At the team house, we could. It's one of the things that's like having a team house is really awesome for in StarCraft, because just on a day-to-day basis, like we're all in the same room and we're just it's a positive environment. It's really easy to just talk to people with StarCraft and bounce ideas off each other, and yeah, like a few of the guys in the house took notes as well on like their plays and replays and things, and sometimes you might compare notes, see what they have, see what you have, just on on timings and what strategies work on certain maps and whatnot.
Cool. Gotcha. This sounds a lot like just like when I lived with a bunch of guys in college. We should have been talking about school, but we were just talking about whatever games we were playing at the time. I think it was a lot of Halo. But that was that. But the Complexity no longer has a team house, correct?
Yeah, unfortunately. The sponsor of it backed out.
Oh, that's a shame.
Gamut Labs, yeah.
Yeah, because when we had Sasquatch on, he did the episode from inside the Complexity house. Saw a bunch of you guys running around behind him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Sasquatch is a good man. Was there any hazing when he became part of the regular team?
No, I think we all expected it to happen at that point, and we had done a lot of hazing before that, all being in the same house anyway. So
okay. Gotcha.
There was just hazing. There was hazing after he joined, before he joined.
Gotcha.
Good old general hazing.
All right. Good to hear. So, we're on the subject of silly stories. One of the questions that we got asked: did you have any like fun traveling stories like with the team?
Well, the traveling stories. I know there's a few, but the most recent one that's popping into my head right now was the last MLG I was at. Hart was on the team during that MLG, and I didn't realize it at the time, but he looks a lot like Solkey does. Like, him and Solkey could almost be brothers.
Huh.
And it was like Championship Sunday, and I knew Hart was going to play Pult next, and then I thought I saw him, like, sitting there warming up. So I went over and I started talking to him, and I was like, "Hey man, like, you ready for your match?" He's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Well, good luck. Do you need, if you need water or anything?" And he's like, "No, thank you." And then I just like sat there talking to him for a bit, and I thought it was kind of weird because he was just like looking at me confused and wasn't really answering much.
Oh no.
And I was like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna go." And I was like, he must want to really focus on this match. And then I left the convention center and I went around and walked to get food, and then I walked by Hart going in. And I was like, because I had stood there the whole time talking to Solkey thinking it was Hart. And I was like, oh my god. They look almost identical.
That's great. I'm looking at pictures of them too right now. Yeah, I can definitely see it. It doesn't help that their glasses are damn near the same too.
Yeah, I think that's what really made a mistake.
Oh man, yeah, they have very similar haircuts and I think almost the exact same frames. Oh
So
wow.
he must have thought that I was some crazy person. It's a big weirdo.
Oh, those
Must have been like, why
Canadians,
is this guy talking to me?
those damn Canadians are so racist.
And so nice though. He was gonna give me a glass of water. And...
I was attacking him with friendliness.
It's like, oh man, that Rise is a little too friendly. Good thing you didn't like start massaging his shoulders or something.
And then, like, a year ago, like, MLG Anaheim was one of the most fun events that was when we had the Root guys on the team and Cruncher on the team way back then. And our hotel room was just like big troll fest with Cats and Cruncher in the same room. Oh my god. There wasn't much sleep to be had between those two.
I bet. You're just like constantly pranking each other when you fall asleep or
Yeah, I don't know if you guys ever saw the bed flipping videos, but
you're right. Yes. Yes, never mind. Okay.
No, I was there for that MLG.
Oh wow,
Beds were flipped.
That must have been an experience.
It was pretty damn annoying.
I bet.
Now looking back on it, it was funny.
That's great. So, I guess let's get back to your play a little bit. Currently, I mean, you're focusing on Wings of Liberty. Like, what's your favorite matchup at this time, and what's your least favorite?
Wings of Liberty, my favorite matchup right now is ZVZ. It's a lot different than what it used to be back in the day. It feels kind of like, I mean, if you get past the early game part of like, you don't get temple when you went patch first and you just die. If you can get past that part, it's really good now because most builds even out and there's a certain way you want to play and you know how to react, and it just feels like a really good matchup now. You usually get in 3 bases and you get a good macro game out of it. It's really fast paced. Comes down to decision making and micro positioning all the time, and I just really enjoy playing it overall. And ZVT in the middle, because it feels like it hasn't changed much, but it's always kind of played out fun for me. Just stopping the tear and push, and then transitioning into Hive, and then being aggressive after that.
Yeah, that's always been my favorite to watch. It just seems so classically StarCraft to me.
And ZVP for me has always been the least favorite because it just feels like I'm just sprinting at full speed and running into a force field over and over until my face breaks or something.
Yeah. I don't know. We need to do some kind of like psychoanalyst chart where it's like what your favorite matchup is, what that says about you. I think it takes a special kind of person to really enjoy ZVZ. I watch it and I get stressed out just watching it, let alone.
Yeah, but it is the only matchup in Wings of Liberty anyway that you'll ever see a Hydra. So that's kind of nice.
It is.
It's very true.
I don't know if it indicates that I'm crazy by a psychoanalysis part, but I think the link banding part is really fun as well. I actually enjoy link banding micro wars.
Yeah.
So.
It's like this constant kind of like, I don't know, it's like the two armies are like attached by rubber bands. Watching them go at each other.
Yeah. I enjoy it. I don't know what it means. I don't know. Maybe it means I'm a masochist or whatever they call it. I like watching things blow up and running around like crazy.
Yeah. Another question we got from the community was if you've experienced any of the drop hacks or map hacks or any other cheats while you're laddering and kind of how you deal with that.
They've been around forever. The way I deal with it usually is just try and ignore it because it's you're not really going to see it at live events or big important tournaments because people are looking out for it there and you're making sure it doesn't happen or that people that do it will get punished. And if you're going to play professionally, like that's all you should really care about anyway.
I'm still waiting for the guy to show up at MLG with a blanket and like throw it over his head and over the screen so no one can see what he's up to.
Some guy, he makes it all the way through the champ bracket. He's going to come to the main stage. He brings up a second monitor with him.
Yep, exactly.
Plug it in.
You could just not switch to my view. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little suspicious.
Yeah, they've been around for a long time, and I think I'm even starting to play against people that are map hacking in Heart of the Swarm, sadly.
No,
But I
that
guess
sucks.
it's not surprising since it's probably the same type of deal for the people that make it.
Yeah.
It's the same game, right? It's just like a few different things. So
I've
it's
never
like impossible.
I've never understood the mentality behind that, especially a game as competitive as StarCraft.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's why it is, because it's so highly competitive. They just get there.
Most of the people I run into that hack on ladder just seem like they're trolls. So I guess they just want to like pretend that they're good and make people rage by fucking with them. Yeah, it'd be like a 4-player. If I play Wings of Liberty and sometimes I get a hacker, it'll be like a 4-player map, and they'll just come straight to my base and make 3 pylons at the bottom of my ramp to wall me in because I'm Zerg. And they'll just sit there and type in noob and you're bad all the whole time, and then they'll just blind counter whatever I do on the one base. But you know, I just like get to remember names of who I know is definitely like hacking or gonna do some shenanigans, and then I'll just, if they do something like that, I'll just leave or ignore it.
Yeah.
Don't feed it trolls.
Exactly. So, so let's see. We already talked about all the Heart of the Swarm stuff for the most part. So, I don't know. Are you a fan of the campaign at all? Do you do any casual gaming?
Oh yeah, I'm really excited for the Heart of the Swarm campaign.
I love to hear that. We talk.
Yeah.
I never know with pros. Half the time we get them on, they're like, "Man, I've never played the campaign." And then other times you're just like, "Oh, I can't wait."
Yeah, there are some that I've never played it. I'm like, how can you not play the campaign? Like that's the campaign and the storyline. The single player for me is like the whole reason that you play the game at first, because that's why you buy it. You know, you beat it, and then you get bored of the single player and you go to the multiplayer.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly it. That's how I got into Blizzard games in the first place. I didn't buy the Warcraft RTS because I wanted to get into like playing, player versus player.
Yeah.
I wanted to see the damn story. And
That
Warcraft,
multiplayer made no sense.
I've played Warcraft, Orcs and Humans, Tides of Darkness, Beyond the Dark Portal, then the 2 StarCrafts, the original one and Brood War, and I was always all about beating those campaigns and really enjoyed the whole storyline to them as well. So I'm looking forward to the Heart of the Swarm one to see what Blizzard has planned next and the whole StarCraft world.
yeah, I'm really excited for it. As a matter of fact, we were talking about this on our other show where we talk about a lot of other games. That the Diablo storyline, in retrospect, the most recent one, really kind of fell flat for me because I felt the StarCraft 2 storyline was so freaking awesome. I felt they kind of dropped the ball a little bit with Diablos.
Yeah, definitely. It didn't seem like they really had like an original kind of idea for it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, let's resurrect some bad guys and have you go kill them.
Yeah, go read the medieval play Everyman. Like, it was a classic sort of scare everyone into believing story, almost.
Yeah, pretty much. And you said it last week, Kyle, that it seemed, even though it obviously you're going against hell, it seemed very small scale, even with the legions of demons and stuff. There's something about it just felt
Well, in a world
insignificant.
where hell breaks out like every 2 years, the population to go screaming from it isn't so big anymore. But that's
good
the
point.
Yeah, I
one of the
guess
big thing. That's the big thing I'm looking forward to in Heart of the Swarm is, and I don't know if they're going to have like a moral choice system. They might have like a, do you want to slaughter all the humans, or do you want to leave the
Or half
innocents
of them.
alive?
Or
exactly.
just the bad Dominion humans.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Yeah,
want to see
I
some
think-
people running through the streets.
That'll probably be mission 8, man. Probably land on a planet full of people, and you'll get the decision right then: slaughter mission or not slaughter mission.
Yep. Yeah. Did you call up all your Zerg buddies when the new cinematic came out?
I call up I tried to get friends that even didn't play StarCraft to look at it.
That's what I love about
Awesome
the
cinematic.
Yeah, that's what I love about the cinematics is that's the thing that you can go to your family who doesn't understand what you're into at all. And you can show them this and be like, "This is what's happening in my mind when I play a game of StarCraft."
Well, that looks like a fun movie.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, that was my first words after watching it too, was why doesn't Blizzard make a movie already?
I know.
Apparently they got a
I know.
director for their
It's
Warcraft
cinematic.
film this week. But that's going to be live
Yeah.
action, so I'm
Yeah, I
not...
saw that.
Yeah. It's going to be live action, though. Like, I mean, I'm sure a lot of it will be CG, but just this is part of me that just wish they would do the entire thing themselves. But
They probably could.
I think I
It
mean
would be awesome if they did.
I've heard tell that their cinematic department is a pretty small team, which is why it takes them so long to roll out cinematics. But they could hire more people and make a movie. Why not? Just take 1 month of the WoW subscriptions and put it towards a movie. Let's do that. How's that sound? So
And that's another reason I'll be wanting to play the Heartless Form single player, to get through and see more cinematics.
yeah, it's good stuff. So man, that's great. So you're in the IPL 6. You're going to be doing the qualifiers. Do you have any games coming up that people are going to be able to see?
I played against Azubu San, in the last IPL qualifier just recently, and I got knocked out by him. I'm not sure if it'll get casted or not, because I think they pick and choose from replays which ones they want to cast. And usually they go by big names, so I'm not sure. But the next one coming up, we'll see how far I get.
Okay. All right, cool.
And sorry about turning around awkwardly there. My dog just opened my door, and I was like, "What's going on?"
I do that all the time. I have 2 cats and a little chihuahua running around my house, so I never know when something is chewing on a wire underneath my computer. It's no fun, man. So, is it okay if we take a few questions from the chat room before we let you go?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
All right, cool. Well, chat room, shoot over some questions before we let Ryze go.
Ask me anything.
Yes, go nuts.
And while this gets going, what are your thoughts on the growth of the scene right now? And I mean, you've been with the team basically from its inception. How has your team advanced, and what do you see needing to happen to get teams more in the spotlight or esports in general out there?
I feel like things have plateaued for the most part with the growth of it. Like, there's a little bit still growing, but it's not growing as fast as we had seen it before, when we were all getting amazed by it, like back in 2011.
Sure.
And I think part of it just because a lot of it is routine now, like the whole cycle or process that things go through, like tournaments and qualifiers and show matches, and I think we need some fresh ideas for, I guess, the entertainment value part of it to get people watching. Like, I don't know, maybe they could do this is probably wouldn't happen, but an idea I would have is kind of like an Ultimate Fighter reality show, but for StarCraft. Get 2 different teams in a team house and have 2 coaches that train them, and then have them pit off against each other every week.
I'm glad you brought that up. We had that as a discussion topic for later in the episode, but
Really?
Yeah, it's actually on the bullet list. There was that.
Maybe that's why it was in my mind.
Okay, yeah, because it was brought up by, I think Chris Siggety brought it up in an interview with Eurogamer. They started talking about it, and
yeah.
So
more things like that.
I guess now is as good as ever. What do you think about that? Do you think just put cameras in a gamer house and go?
Yeah, I mean, there'll be entertainment value there that's not even related to the gaming.
Well, yeah, you have people flipping beds.
Yeah, you have people flipping beds, and back at our team house, you'd have ghost users sitting there trying to talk to his stream, and Sasquatch would walk up behind him with a big plastic bag and explode it, and they'd be all blown up. Because he would scare so easily that you could almost do anything to him. But Gage loved to troll him.
And then they could do that thing that they always do in reality shows, where they cut away to the person who just got screwed with, and they start smack talking, but they're alone in a seat with just one.
Right, and you're like, oh my god, he's such a noob.
That was so embarrassing when he put me on stream like that. I would love the intro, where people get real time strategy.
Yeah, that'd be great, man.
Yep.
Then we'll just the natural evolution is, of course, eSports Storage Wars.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Get all the old gear out.
If Stefano thinks he's gonna upbid me, he's got another thing coming.
And I'm sure there's disorganized pros, but it seems like a lot of people are really impassioned about this game. That's why they're playing, and so they put a lot of effort into being organized, being on time. Whereas reality shows are a bit more off the cuff, random ass Joe you pulled off the street, Jersey Shore.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's why like a reality kind of show for StarCraft would maybe have to have more of a focus like that, where like it's kind of like a UFC fighter house where there's two different teams in it competing for something. But I
Yeah.
think just in general, with if like some new ideas come out or creative, more original ways to sort of cast or show StarCraft matches to people or competitions, we'll get more interest maybe. Because I feel like people are just like, there's so much of the same stuff going on all the time now, and also Hard the Swarm might help progress things a lot further.
Well, I think we're definitely going to see an initial surge with HOTS. I mean, do you buy into? I mean, the thing you always see on like Reddit and whatever, which is obviously the best place to go for truth in your StarCraft thoughts. But like, do you kind of buy into the Blizzard could do more? Like, we need a streamer in the client of the game and stuff like that.
No, I don't think that specifically is what we need. Like, I think streaming is already pretty good now with the way XSplit and Twitch TV works or other platforms. And I read over that thread the other night actually that was talking about how the new Call of Duty will have that kind of software. But
yeah, and didn't they just partner with Twitch or something? Call of Duty.
Sure, Activision and Call of Duty did.
Yeah.
So it could be like right in the Xbox, but no, I just I think it has to be more focused on like the sport side of things instead of the game. So like like what is it that makes StarCraft a sport and makes it exciting, makes people want to watch and draws people in? Like maybe there's more like, I think this has been said before too, but like storylines at events, like backgrounds of players and their stories being shown, people can get behind things easier. And but that, I think also team leagues, if we had like a bigger and better like international team league, that might be really exciting.
Yeah.
Instead of just Pro League or just ESTL or just the online cups for like MCSL or IPL things, something that was like maybe like more of like a live event internationally, like yearly, where two teams would get to the finals and play. But I feel like people, if the competition is good, can get more excited for team leagues as well. I know that I do because they actually get behind like a whole team.
Yeah.
Like for Pro League right now, like my fantasy team, like I always like pick the SKT1 players. It makes it's more exciting when you're like rooting for a team instead of like one person too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems a little less, well, certainly random because you never know what can happen to your favorite player going into a tournament. So a whole team gives you a bit more of a chance for rooting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. And it's, I mean, it seems more traditional with the exception of boxing or MMA. It's most other sports are team sports, at least the popular ones. So
Sweecon says predictions for tonight's GSL. I want to say the Innovation and DRG will get out. Those are my predictions.
I hope so.
Now, does your predictions match up with who you're rooting for? Who you'd like to see get out?
We'd like to see Stefano get out, but I feel like when it comes to these kind of matches where the Koreans can actually prepare for him and like look at his style, he's had trouble in the past. Like some examples of that are like, I think actually the first time he ever played in GSL, he had to play against MVP, and that was back when he was just starting to do his little double upgrade Ling style.
Yeah.
MVP just went like 2 factory blue from Hellions both games in a row and like killed him.
Yeah, just wrecked him.
So we'll see if he's changed from the past to where he can be less predictable now. But I think that's one thing that hurts him in tournaments like this.
Yeah, he does seem to perform well in a bit more of the marathon styles.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd agree with that.
Less preparing going on. Yeah.
But we'll see. I do want to see him get out, but I just don't think he will.
Yeah. I'm with you too. And Kyle, I'm sure you're rooting for DRG.
Very hard.
Anyway, I'd like us both to be happy. Marine King made it out first in his group, so.
Oh, dude, he smashed.
Yeah, he did great.
Did you see the Medevac Marauder play that he did during that?
the Medevac Marauder show off that he did?
Oh,
yes.
God, it was just,
Yeah,
it was a show off. He had already won by that point.
Yeah.
It was disgusting.
Do you guys read the interviews they do after with like, who they want to pick for their groups and stuff?
Not actually. No, to be completely honest, I usually do not. Why? Was there some epic smack talk?
MC.
Oh, of course.
MC said like, if he can choose it, he'll pick to make an all Protoss group so he can show the world he's the best Protoss. It's like, I just thought it was so funny. He's such a smack talker like that, and I was like, there's only 3 Protoss in the whole thing, and MC wants to put them all in his group and kill them. What a guy.
That sounds like MC.
Then MKP actually said that if MC does that, he hopes he can get into that group so that he can beat all the Protoss and advance easily. He can avoid Zerg.
Excellent.
Oh, wonderful! Wow, these guys are great. I love it. It was overall, I'm really happy about this week of GSL. A lot of the players I was hoping to see move on did. Like, I'm a big Teja fan. I was really glad to see him move on. Parting is hands down my favorite Protoss. Sorry, MC. But I was really sad to see Nesty get out. I didn't think he was going to move on, but I was kind of hoping he would.
Yeah, it just kind of looked like he wasn't playing so well mechanically. And especially in the first game on Cloud Kingdom. But, I mean, he over-droned a lot. I don't know if he meant to do that or not, but like I think 90 drones is too much for what he was playing in the Cloud Kingdom game. And I think also on the second game he played against... I'm talking about his series against Nobilis. Wait, no, Teja, sorry. His little roach timing, I think it was just... It came too late. Or he didn't go... He didn't go in for it right away. I think he should have just tried committing to an attack instead of harassing between both bases like that. But yeah, I agree. Like, it was sad to see him go out.
Yeah, he seems a little set in his ways, sadly. Like, he's been playing the game just a little too long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful because players like him and DRG are going to benefit hugely from the Muta upgrade in Heart of the Swarm.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Indeed. Yeah, everyone who enjoys the kind of Muta-heavy style. That's that regeneration, man. You're complaining about Reapers. The Muta regen scares me to death.
It's pretty strong in ZVP, that regen.
Yeah.
And the speed too. It's really easy to dodge storms now. So those massive mutalist styles where you just stay on mutas the whole game, I've gotten a huge buff from that.
Yeah. We got another question. Don't you think that one of the problems that StarCraft 2 has is that units counter other units too hard, which he says he didn't think happened much in Brood War, and that made the fights more unexpected? Do you think that can change with the expansions?
Yeah, I definitely think that will change the expansions as they add more units in, because there'll be just more versatility to the game overall. Like right now in StarCraft, it doesn't feel like there's that many options overall as far as like going for a mid-game unit comp into a late-game plan goes. There's only a few things you can really do as each race, and there's always been that sort of like rock, paper, scissors feeling in StarCraft.
Yeah.
But I think what there is too much of is things that shut down the micro of your opponent, like fungal or force field overall. It kind of like just forces a situation to happen where you just turtle up, because if you try and attack into something, you'll just trade horribly against it.
Yeah.
But it's with more units, it becomes more options for strategy, which creates more interesting gameplay, I think. So definitely the expansions will help change things.
Yeah. So every time we do the show, I try not to spend the entire episode just saying, "Oh, I'm so excited for Heart of the Swarm," because that's what all the discussion eventually kind of devolves into. But well, awesome. I know we have we have to get you out of here within the hour. So before we let you go, where can people find you? Any sponsors you'd like to thank, and anything else you'd like to promote?
All right. People can find me on Twitter. Just follow me at coL.Ryze if you want, and check out my team as well. Follow their Twitter at Complexity Live. Check out their website, www.complexitygaming.net, and check out our sponsors, Creative, Sound Blaster, PNY, QPad, Crash System, and no other shoutouts other than that.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, Ryze, for coming on. It was really fun having you. Always enjoy talking changes with a pro.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. Thanks for having me.
All right.
I always enjoy doing little shows and podcasts like this.
Yeah. Yeah. So thanks again. We'll probably ask you to come back again in the future. Probably after Hearted Swarm comes out. Get your feelings on that.
That'd be great, and I would definitely have played a lot more of it by then, so I can elaborate more on things as well.
Come back on. The Swarm host needs to just go away. I'm done with this. Thing's garbage.
Oracles are OP. Oh my god.
So very awesome, man.
Why do you bring Warhounds back?
I'm pretty sure that's already been confirmed by both Chris Segedy and Dustin Braddock. It's just not gonna happen. So, well, thanks again, Brendon. Again, this is from Team coL.Ryze. Go check it out, complexitygaming.com or .net?
ComplexityGaming.com.
Okay, I thought it was .com. Cool.
Yep.
Well, very cool. Good luck again in the qualifiers, and we'll see you again in the future.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Awesome.
Yes, indeedy do. Whoa, what's going on here? My camera's not here.
A bit of a... Oh, there we go. No, I'm on there. Hello, everyone.
You're there.
I'm looking fabulous.
Not. You're looking... Well, of course you're looking fabulous. You have that lovely new HD camera.
I do. I was accused of wearing makeup in the chat room because my face looks so clear. And probably my lips look a little more reddish.
Yeah.
More glossy.
You know how you do.
Cherry.
You heard it here first. Kyle's lips taste like strawberries.
Cherry?
Or strawberries, sorry. Or cherries, whatever.
I don't know how we keep doing this, but we seem to be on a roll here getting perfect guests for the random topics that come up during the week.
Yeah. Well, I think we really need, an esports reality show. It's like, that was totally a topic later in the show, but I would much rather discuss it with you, so...
Oh, man, on that topic, do you want to tackle that here or get into it a little later?
Sure, we're on the topic, why not? Did you have any other thoughts that you didn't say?
Well, it's so funny. You got to check out our show notes and read the comments because this was posted on Eurogamer and was, of course, talking about UFC in the title. So a lot of UFC fans came out to talk about this. And oh my goodness, some of these comments... I don't want to see a bunch of uber nerds on my TV. You kids don't get it. I don't want to see a bunch of kids saying, I'm just so happy. This is the time of my life. Just people trash talking this thing from outside of esports.
That's great, man. Well, what do you expect? These are people that wear affliction shirts. Obviously.
Sure.
Some issues.
It was also interesting to learn the other side of this, which was that the UFC reality show was kind of a freak accident. The show was, produced, and it was all building up to a single fight. That fight just so happened to be the best fight of the year. And that would be wonderful for StarCraft. But we can't control that. We could have a full-on run over. We've had some bad finals in the past.
Yeah, and also not to be so naysay about the North American teams and players, but unless you get Korean players, it's highly unlikely you're going to have the best finals.
Yeah,
because they are the best players. That's just how it is.
Well, and we want to keep a bit of a stereotype goes with fighters, and they are also more aggressive naturally because they enjoy fighting. And pro gamers enjoy competing, and I'm sure they're very competitive, but I doubt we'll have, fists thrown in a parking lot or maybe guys getting drunk and getting arrested if we get Stefano on there.
You beat me to it.
But, it's not the same sort of situation where these nerds are going to bring home 4 girls for the backroom hot tub, get into trouble because they slept through their match the next day.
I don't know. Maybe if Stefano's involved.
Well, maybe we just need to pick the right players, but is that who we want representing us?
I don't know. Of the teams that even have houses, I don't know. I don't know. I have such open disdain for reality television. The majority of it. I have my little pockets that I enjoy. Like Restaurant Impossible, you'd consider that a reality show, right?
I've never even seen it.
It's on the Food Network.
Oh, okay.
It's got that really buff chef on it.
The guy... Guy Ferrari? I can't believe
No, he's fat. No, this guy could rip me in half. God, what's his name? I forget. He's from England. Anyways, it's neither here nor there. That's like about the only one I can stomach. But and I might have a guilty spot in my heart for Project Runway, but that's a discussion for another day. If you ever do that on Biggest Fan, bring me on, please. But I don't know. I mean, most of the team houses, there's so many people in it that you're going to have a nice spread and a nice array of personalities to where it would probably be pretty interesting. I mean, the EG house would definitely be interesting. I mean, they already put out so much content from the house. I mean, a lot of it is scripted.
Yeah, it's really controlled.
But I can see where if you just, turn the cameras on, you just got like Idra giving in control shit that all you need is drama. And we know reality shows are scripted too. I mean,
yeah, oh my God, I just got a text. And some of them even impose more situations upon the reality show, such as challenges or rose givings. I mean, we could have even a house that has an elimination every month, which is what you would have to do to kind of, you have to build the stress of the environment to make sure these things actually happen. But a lot of these shows, when you're dealing with a profession, like let's take, the Donald Trump show. What was that called?
Balding Loudmouth Peach.
You're fired. Yeah, whatever it was. The intern, the assistant.
Oh God, I don't even remember. I don't care. Anyways, continue.
Help me out in a second, chat room. But at any rate, I mean, that show was about getting people that were in that business, but making sure you got all the ridiculous personalities you could grab. So from our point of view, it would be very controlled. And in fact, in some situations, you go, why is he in that house? He's not the best player. Well, he's loud, and he gets in a lot of trouble. That's why he's there.
Yeah, well,
The Apprentice, that was it.
Okay, there you go. But I think you touched on something that could be an easier way to go is to do one that isn't where the main characters aren't necessarily the current players. You just get a pool, and it's like next pro gamer, and it's just whittle down. Whoever wins gets to join the team. But
sure,
then you have personalities. You say it was EG, for example. You have like
dude, I can so see that.
Yeah, Idra and In Control and stuff like that, being like the coaches and like like eSports drill sergeants.
It's totally. I mean, you can see the grand staircase behind them. The three of them standing there. They've each got like a USB in their hand, and only three. Oh God,
no! Stop! They are not handing out a freaking thumb drive.
What I mean?
Oh my God!
An EG T-shirt, like you can see this happening. Is it what the scene needs right now?
I'd rather. It could so quickly become a gimmicky joke that we would never be taken seriously.
No.
I don't take fighting seriously because it's a reality show. So how many people would have the same reaction with esports?
Well, and it's immediately, I mean, even if you're not into fighting, if you're not into singing and music, you have been exposed to pain and noise your entire life. So you know that something sounds good or hurts. And with a video game, seeing these forces run at each other, like, I mean, every once in a while, just to keep my perspective going, I will turn on a League of Legends stream and go, what? What's going on? What are those bots? And I'm always like, oh, look at it. I don't understand. Oh, I don't like it. What are all these flashing things over the head? That looks gross. And then I get in Dota or something.
Why does this look so much uglier than Dota?
Or I'm playing StarCraft, and you're like, oh, yeah, look at that lightning over his head. That means something good. Oh, that looks great. Man, he's stimming the hell out of those. And, it just doesn't translate.
You could also, you just opened up a whole other bag of worms that I was thinking about just the information that casters probably should be giving, because all you need to do is go watch a game that you're not familiar with, listen to the casters, and you just probably still not know what's going on.
No, well, that's because a lot of team games are mostly about the people, and 1v1 games are going to be more repetitive because there's less heroes or whatever else, so you do find ways. But yeah, and I think over the next couple months we are going to have a resurgence of more introductory play during our casted matches.
I hope so. I really do.
Yeah, it's a big time. It's scary. It's scary for a lot of people because I'm hoping that some people are listening to the show going, man, I haven't been into StarCraft in the past, but I'm really excited to try out Heart of the Swarm. Yet, the game's been going for a while. Bronze is not bronze. I'll tell you that much. At least not in the beta. We'll see what it looks like on release. But hey, that actually kind of segues into our next topic a little.
Yeah, and real quick, if you are one of those newcomers to StarCraft, I know we've got a lot of new listeners now that we've joined Frog Pants. Write into the show, let us know what it's like, kind of hitting the ground. You're jumping on a moving train. That is StarCraft eSports.
And if there's anything this show can do to help you out as we get closer to that release, if you have an idea for sort of some information that you need conveyed to you, we can help you out. So let us know what tools you need.
Yeah, we're definitely thinking about what we should do at the launch of the new expansion.
Race-specific episodes, or we're trying out some different things.
Yeah, exactly. So write us starcastshow@gmail.com. Sorry, what topic did you want to go to next? Now that we've been jumping around so much.
Oh, I was diving into our first topic originally about Dustin Browder talking Heart of the Swarm with PC Gamer, and they've revealed some new tools. And we've heard about these coming up, but it was interesting to get kind of the in-office perspective here. Some of the new player tools we're getting are going to be, of course, the versus AI. That'll help you learn how to actually play. Because in the past, they basically went with the tutorial was the campaign. And I actually started up the Wings of Liberty campaign this past week, just, gearing up for HOTS. I'm excited. Got to see the storyline again. And, man, you start up that game and you've got, a barracks with a tech lab already attached. And you have 6 SCVs. And there's no way you're building anything out of that barracks with 6 SCVs. But you start to, because it gave you 20 gas to begin with. And then you get in the real game and you're like, well, I guess I really only need 1 barracks, don't I? I mean, that's what the campaign taught me. No.
Yeah, no. I mean, we all remember the good old early days of StarCast when I learned about shift moving and I thought I found Christ.
Sure. And I mean, there was even a thread this past week about A move and how no one had any idea. And they thought the other person was cheating. I mean, they must have been just pressing stop and standing in the right position long enough to make sure that these units attacked on their own. They didn't even know that pressing A and then using the mini-map or the map itself could help you move across.
I have the best story about that, by the way. My roommate, Mike, he's been on our other show, This Week in Blizz, quite a few times, recently picked up Wings of Liberty and has been, slowly making his way through the campaign. He's awful, as, most new people are.
Sure.
But the other day, this is what I hear. Garrett! What? I finally get what A move means! So, I was dying. It was great. He finally understands the name of my channel. It's funny.
Well, one of the things they're going to be doing is once you beat the campaign, or even before that, your first time clicking into the multiplayer, it is going to restrict you a certain amount. It is going to cover up your unit bar a bit and only allow you to see move. And then as you continue to play against the computer or multiplayer matches, it'll slowly unlock other buttons such as stop, hold position, patrol. And so you can get more gradually into the game that way. Of course, if you've been playing for a while and you get in the Heart of the Swarm beta and they implement this, you're like, where's all my buttons? What? Blizzard?
How do I turn this off?
Stuff back.
How do I turn it off? Make it go away.
Or even worse, there's when you start up Heart of the Swarm, and for release, you need to do this for yourself as well. It is auto set that you cannot select buildings that are not your own. And so you'll be scouting and something will be building there, warping in, and you have no idea what it is because you can't select it. Makes sense for beginning players. The fact that you're even looking at buildings being made is probably a feat.
Yeah, you're even scouting.
Exactly.
You're doing something right. You're doing it right. Congratulations. You're ahead of your time. But that's great. I like this. This would have done wonders for me in the StarCraft 2 beta back when we were first starting.
Combine this with the computer that kind of works off of your hidden rating, your ladder rating, and it kind of judges it for you since you probably won't have a ladder rating since you're just getting going. It's going to be some good tools to get everyone going. And they basically admitted this past week that unranked play, while a cool feature and it might get used, is probably going to get corrupt. There's going to be people messing around, going to the wrong league, and then just staying there.
Yeah.
So they need more tools to help out new players.
Yeah, I'm all for it. The more open and welcome we can make this game, the better.
Party in the chat room says, do you think the giant learning curve is part of the fun? For me, yes, because I've played lots of RTS, and I sit down for my first time, put the computer on lowest, and build one of every single unit, and then get every single upgrade, because I know I have to learn all those steps. But for someone just getting into it, and if you're running straight from the campaign, you're like, where's my Kerrigan? Where's the heroes?
Yeah, and plus Blizzard's mantra of, kind of easy to pick up, difficult to master, doesn't currently apply to StarCraft. I would say it's difficult to pick up, impossible to master.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man.
Well, we also got in this interview some interesting insight from the Blizzard office. Apparently, Reaper Battlecruiser is a big strategy going on in there with David Kim.
Yeah, obviously, endgame strat.
Yes, so mass battlecruiser using all your big resources and population on that, and then a team of Reapers running around underneath it, destroying buildings and workers whenever there's an opening.
So it's like a strike team.
Yep, and the big Yamato force.
So the biggest, slowest unit for the Terran and the smallest, fastest unit for the Terran. All right, I'm down.
Here's something I really like and just hadn't even crossed my mind. One, because I'm not a Protoss player, so I never play PvP. I only watch it and go, eh. So the Tempest is actually they said, in their opinion, is going to be the biggest metagame shift because the Tempest will stop Colossi play, which means PvPs will no longer devolve into late game Colossus on Colossus action.
Nice.
Yeah, that's good to hear. And it'll be cool to see because it's going to be launching from afar. Does that extra damage against massive. And you need to actually select the Colossus when they're coming at you. So using them as a sniping unit rather than the dumb way I use them, personally.
I am all for anything disrupting everything.
They're also planning to see a lot more Hydra and Raven play. The Raven has come out of this big waft of changes, a little buffed, particularly that it can cast 2 missiles pretty early on instead of just 1. And of course, Hydra's with the moving off creep upgrade now at the layer.
Yep.
I definitely see a lot more Hydras.
I'm really happy about this too. I mean, we've how many times have we said, hooray, Hydras are back, Zergs feel Zergy again.
Yeah. Can actually maybe survive a tank line. Still shouldn't do it, but can happen.
Yeah, maybe, possibly. Since
Don't try
siege mode doesn't need to be, researched anymore, maybe not so much anymore. But hey, there is that. Also, in Blizzard news, they're doing another call to action, and this time it's for leveling in the Heart of the Swarm beta. But there's a catch, or a bonus, or an incentive, if you will, this time, which they've never really done before.
Yeah.
They're going to be giving you portraits that you can only get. You can only unlock and receive these through leveling in Heart of the Swarm beta. There will be one portrait that you can unlock for your game, and you get to keep outside of the beta. This will go to your live account for reaching the level 30 cap for all 3 races. So there's one for the Terran, there's one for Zerg, and there's one for Protoss. There'll be a Viper portrait, a Warhound portrait, and a Tempest portrait.
Yeah, the Warhound portrait kind of looks like the Battlecruiser commander. It's just, it looks like a guy of some esteem in their army.
Yeah.
In order to get one of these portraits, you do have to reach level 30, which means it's going to take you about 120 games to get there.
Man, that's a serious time investment into a beta. But I mean, it's always been, well, I don't want to invest time in beta because
snap. This just in.
What?
You only have to get to level 5 now. They just want you to get in and try it out.
Never mind. Woohoo!
Yeah.
This just in. All right. Well, that's great to hear.
So you still need to get to level 30 total to unlock all 3, but your first one at level 5.
But no, that would be 15.
Well, I'm reading this as I'm talking, so kind of messing up.
In that case, I'm going to go in there and get my damn Warhound.
I should already have it then. I'm level 11.
Sweet. Well, is it retroactive? Because then I might already have it too.
That'd be
Oh,
kind
except I've
of...
been playing Zerg. Crap. That means I've got the Viper. Oh, well. Anyways, this is awesome because, you know, it's always... the beta is always, you know, I don't want to put too much time in because I don't get to take anything with me when I leave. Not as bad with an RTS. Obviously, with things like MMO betas and God knows what else, you don't get to keep anything. But still, this is a nice incentive to really get a lot of people to try out this and hopefully find bugs and fix them. So that is badass. More badass is a game that is vaguely StarCraft related, but I'm really excited we're even hearing anything about it. Is Blizzard All-Stars, Kyle?
Yes, sir.
Now you're a MOBA fan, to say the least. Just a little
And
bit.
I am very excited about having some of the tropes of MOBA removed last hit. Emphasis on who gets final kills. Things that distract from the team aspects.
Getting mounts instead of boots because, well, giant animals you get to ride on way cooler than a new pair of boots.
Yeah.
That you
Why
don't
aren't you
get to
wearing
see.
shoes in the first place?
You were just heavier shoes. Come on, man.
Gotta take those off.
Get with it.
You got your Link boots on. What were the iron boots?
Yeah. This also came to us from Eurogamer. Chris Siggety did a lot of talking over there. But, yeah, shared a couple new details on the Blizzard All-Stars, you know, kind of the development. And he just said, you know, we are actively working on it. He said that I can confirm, and a lot of the stuff that's remaining right now that we need to focus on are the systems necessary to pull off a game with a different business model than StarCraft 2. Now, we've talked in the past where it's going to be basically free to play. You're going to be able to access Blizzard All-Stars, which was previously known as Blizzard Dota, for those of you who may not be up to date on this. You're going to be able to access it through StarCraft Starter Edition, which is the free edition of StarCraft you can pick up right now, and you can play, well, like the first 3 missions of the campaign or something, and you can play Terran against AI.
Yeah, on certain levels. So, yeah, it limits what you can do, but you still get to try the game out.
Yeah, but basically that Blizzard All-Stars is going to be playable through that in full. So I'm sure they're going to have some type of microtransaction dealie. You can buy new skins or something. Like, I don't know, maybe I can turn my Lich King into, like, an Arthas model or something. Like, yeah, I'm not really sure. You said we'll go into more details about that in the future, but I suspect you will not have to have StarCraft 2 to play Blizzard All-Stars. We're definitely emphasizing it as its own product in the future, which, again, begs the question, do you think they're going to keep this within StarCraft 2, or do you think this is going to become its own client? Because they've been developing it so long now that honestly wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, well, they're still saying right here that it is going to be a free-to-play game, and kind of makes sense. I mean, you are going to be playing a big Blizzard advertisement. We just had Sony's Battle Royale come out.
Sony's not Super Smash Brothers is the title.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a kind of a popular thing to do right now.
Yeah, indeed. Actually, I would pay a lot of money for a Super Smash Brothers that was Blizzard themed.
Sure.
I'd love that. That'd be phenomenal. And actually balance it and have patches. Holy crap. Wonderful.
We can dream.
I know. God, I miss Smash Brothers. I might play that with my roommate tonight. I haven't poured the hate on in a long time. I think that game might make me more angry than StarCraft, at least at my friends. I'm not sure. But there's that. Oh, and Rob Pardo also mentioned briefly on Twitter that Blizzard is most definitely going to be having a beta for Blizzard All-Stars.
Yes.
This excites me. It means we might actually get to play it a little sooner than we thought.
But not in the box for Heart of the Swarm as was originally advertised.
No.
That was a Blizzard statement, advertisement, TM soon. So, we weren't expecting anything.
Part of me though is kind of excited about that because I'm going to be so stoked about Heart of the Swarm. If they had put that out too, I feel like I would have been torn. Like, I need to play some Blizzard Dota, but I need to play Heart of the Swarm and Burger, and I'd be just pulled in so many directions. My arm would pop off.
I need to at least reestablish my platinum level 1v1 in that game.
Yeah.
before I get too distracted.
Yep. Oh, come on. You know I'm just going to, like, grab you by the shirt collar and drag you into twos with me.
Oh, dude, I love twos. Can't stop me.
No, you can't stop me. No, you can't stop me. Yeah, there's that. Azubu bolstered its ranks this past week.
Oh my goodness, not a casual recruitment either. He went after 4 different players.
Yes, Azubu has now signed Ganji, Boong Boong, Supernova, and Symbol this past week. 2 of those players I'm a massive, massive fan of, and all of them are really freaking good.
Symbol and Ganzi?
Yep. I love those are 2 of my favorites, man. The quote, they said, from this set of signings, Azubu has balanced the team's racial composition, which was previously skewed in favor of Protoss, as well as signing an older and experienced player in Ganzi to add some much-needed backbone to the team, which could have appeared lacking due to the prevalence of younger players on the roster. So that is great. We have a link to, by the way, if you're new to the show, we have links to all of these stories, a lot of odds and stuff like that in our show notes. You head on over to the StarCast.com once the podcast is up, and it'll be there.
And we have a lot of teams that exchange players, and it's self-serving, of course, and they want to make money and win and build a good team that can compete within, so it does great in tournaments when they head out. This is also exciting because Azubu is so ingrained in the Collegiate Star League that we're going to be having that more prevalent in colleges, which means we'll have a bigger audience when they get out of college. And it's just it's good things all around for the scene.
Yeah, indeed. So, oh god, CSL is going to be, because is Polt over here yet? I was going to say, the CSL is going to just get scarier and scarier.
It's a little frightening how these pro players are, active pro players are like, oh, well, I guess I'm in college. Sure, I'll smash some noobs. You're like, wait, no, that doesn't count. Well, I guess it does count, but
this is what I do for fun between studying.
Take him down, Suppy.
Oh my God, Suppy. So, anyways, let's talk a little bit about Heart of the Swarm's presence at some of the big upcoming American tournaments. MLG recently released the details on its winter season, and it's going to be a lot of Heart of the Swarm action. They've got the online winter season showdowns. This will be happening before the MLG Dallas Championship, the offline event where you can go see it live and it'll be broadcasted. The Winter Season Showdown is an invite-only, which features 56 of the top StarCraft 2 players in the world playing StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm. This will actually happen before it comes out.
Yes.
So, it'll happen from Monday, February 4th, and it'll go on through Friday, March 8th. It'll be each weeknight and select Sundays. So MLG will broadcast one showdown at MajorLeagueGaming.com and one at twitch.tv/team/MLG. They said that the complete broadcast schedule is up. You can go check that out in a link over on their site. And the 28 players who win their showdowns will advance to an invite-only exhibition tournament at the Winter Championship. So that more or less details what's going down there. Again, the Winter Championship is taking place in Dallas, Texas on March 15th through the 17th. And it's going to be an invite-only 32-player total StarCraft 2 HOTS exhibition tournament. So that'll be obviously 28 players from the showdown. And then we've already got a top 4, which is Life, Leenock, Flash, and Bomber from the MLG 2012 Fall Championship. The total prize pool is $75,000, and first place wins $25,000.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree with our guest that I'd like to see that money distributed a little more evenly through at least the top 25 or so.
Well, if you have 32 players, why not just distribute it to all of them?
Well,
why stop at 25?
Well, yeah, I guess so. Everyone gets a little bit for showing up.
Here's an Applebee's gift card. Go have fun.
Exactly, and certainly not even. I mean, the first place player should get the most money, but a whole third of the winnings is a little drastic when we're trying to build a scene. Great for competition.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there comes a point where if you take too much away from the first place prize, it's just not an impressive number.
Oh, and you need that big divide because you don't want the last the grand final to be two guys shaking hands and going, we'll win, we'll lose, we'll both go home rich, whatever.
Yeah, I didn't need the extra $2,000 anyway.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what you don't want. You want furious competition.
Sweat from the brow and bloody noses.
You want them to be at the brink of breaking through that box and jumping in the other one and strangling the guy.
So
you want to take them
sad.
to that edge and pull them back.
It's a little sad, of course, this is on the heels of the announcement that there isn't going to be an open bracket for this tournament.
Yeah.
But we get to see some HOTS action before the game comes out, which is pretty cool. I'm interested to see if this will be a showcase, a display of the Heart of the Swarm skills that we haven't seen yet, or if this will be an odd meandering towards victory as the strategy slowly evolves over the tournaments.
How do you feel about them doing a long format, like weeknight broadcast in the Showdown series?
I like it.
They're going
It's digestible.
They're going a full month, yeah. Which, yeah. I mean, it's interesting. I guess it's going to come down to what else is going on at the same time. I don't think we're going to be going through like a coDS round of 32 at that time.
No. I mean, we have the final GSL for Wings of Liberty happening right now. So there's going to be some finals going on in the background, but we don't have our big, long tournaments. And I think 1 month is a great amount of time. It's a little shorter than the GSL, but you're doing some invite-only stuff. You don't have to do all the Code A and build up to it. And it's certainly no NASL or IPL that seems to take a little too long to follow the story.
Yeah, I find NASL hard to follow the whole time. You damn well believe I'll tune in when it starts getting down to the semis, but
sure,
the whole story is it's mind-boggling at times. And now so is Pro League.
I'm really excited to see this. I want to see the strategies that these people are developing in the background, because they're keeping quiet right now. They're talking about it. They're streaming it. I mean, people are playing. People are prepared for Heart of the Swarm's release. But no one's putting together any guides.
I can't wait to have my mind blown all over again.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Again, to our newer listeners who might be checking out eSports for the first time, now is such a beautiful, beautiful time to get in. It's going to be pretty much wipe the slate clean, start over again. This is the time to get in and learn with us. It's going to be fun.
Well, and there's just...
I agree with Party in the chat room. I want to see a new TL low as well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
We can't even say who it's going to be right now. I mean, I think a lot of us are thinking Grubby, because he's been a little vocal this week about how great he's going to do in Heart of the Swarm. But also, his general love for the game, his interest in the new units. There's just going to be some players who astonish us with their skills. Because, just like our guest said tonight, we are building on the skeleton and all those muscles interacting with one another. It's going to be cool.
Yeah, I love the idea of thinking of Wings of Liberty as a base structure, and then building on top of it.
Then what? Legacy of the Voids, the luscious skin.
Yeah, this velvety skin and muscle. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Comes out of that machine just like.
What if it's like Scales or like the Fly? Just like kill me.
Oh no! In that he was ripping off skin and turning into a fly. That doesn't work. No, this is more like. The machine, Fifth Element.
Fifth Element?
Yeah, because they build her piece by piece.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking of the Mars movie, Total Recall. Sorry.
Oh.
Love that movie. Oh. Get you asked the muss. Also, IPL 6 is going to be having Heart of the Swarm as just announced today. And not only Heart of the Swarm, it's going to be a open bracket Heart of the Swarm.
Interesting.
A 64, like, hey, MLG, we heard you're getting rid of your open bracket and pissing a bunch of people off. We're going to do a Heart of the Swarm open bracket. And IPL 6 is going to be in Las Vegas, so I can't help but make the trolly comment of, do I go to Dallas, Texas, or do I go to freaking Vegas?
Yeah.
Which one should I spend my travel dollars on? Hard decision.
One place that is used to tourism, and another... Well, Dallas has plenty of tourists, I'm sure.
Yes. I actually heard wonderful things about Dallas. But, Vegas, man. Vegas and an open bracket. Open bracket leads to such just phenomenal storylines.
Do they have a date for the finals on this?
On IPL 6? Oh,
I mean, this is an
yes.
announcement right now.
March 28th through March 31st is going to be IPL 6 at the Cosmopolitan in Las Vegas.
Interesting.
The main event is going to be a Wings of Liberty, the IPTL Season 1 finals. So we're going to have Team League finals.
Which are always good.
They do great Team League. And then they're going to have a Heart of the Swarm Invitational and then a 64-player Heart of the Swarm open bracket. They're going to have 3 StarCraft events.
Well, they're hitting at a right time. It'll be right after release. If that's all set to go, I mean, GSL won't be going up yet. So that's going to be a good time for that kind of content.
Indeed.
It'll be real interesting to basically play the 2 videos next to one another of MLG and the tournament that happened before release, and then this a month into it.
Well, no, the finals of MLG, the championship in Dallas, will be taking place the week of launch. It will have already come out, but just days.
Oh, I'm talking about the Invitational, the one that's going to end on the March 8th.
Gotcha. Okay, the Showdown.
Yes.
Showdown series. Yes. Yeah, agreed. But yeah, the Winter Championship will be happening March 15th, so that's the first weekend after the launch of the game. Which I wonder if that'll hurt it, because I don't know about you, but I see that first weekend, I see a lot of Heart of the Swarm playing time.
Yeah, a lot of campaign. I don't know if it'll be esports watching time. Certainly IPL, like I just said, that's striking at the right time.
Yeah, it's damn good timing. Iron is hot. And then finally this week, we talked about a little bit of the drama with Owned TV last week. Well, they're closing.
Yep, closing their doors. I doubt it was corrupt from the beginning, that they went into this saying, let's make some money and not pay out.
I don't think they were twirling their mustaches with the top hats and a monocle.
Exactly. I think, this was just a bunch of guys got together making a streaming company, got a bit ahead of themselves, and got ran over by their own business. So, shame to see them close, but that's the kind of thing that should happen when a company does what they did.
Right. I mean, it does suck that we're going to have, less competition now. I mean, really, we just have Twitch. And that's really it. But I wouldn't be surprised to see someone else pop up.
We have other competitors in the ring, but yeah, no, Twitch and Own TV were the big ones. Own TV made itself big by buying up a lot of players early on so that they could sustain their content. They had a great strategy. They just couldn't pay out correctly.
Yeah. So.
And if you missed that, basically, Owned waited for the money to come from the advertisers and then waited to pay the players as money slowly came slower and slower and advertisements getting paid. They didn't.
Oh no. I think we lost Kyle. Bear with us, chat room. Just gonna end his call and call him back. Hopefully this works. I need that the circle.
The person
with,
whom you're trying to reach
no.
is currently unavailable.
Oh, don't do this to me, Skype. Oh, this is no fun. The glory of live streaming with a Microsoft product. This is not as glamorous as we make this look. I think it's working again. Do I hear a Kyle?
Hello?
Hey, he's back.
I don't know what happened.
Rejoice.
Where was I?
You're turning your camera back on.
Oh, that'd be a decent first step.
Yes, it would be.
Pressing the button. Cool.
And he's back from outer space.
Just walked in, found me here, and with that sad look on my face.
I should have changed that stupid lock.
Yes, made Own leave the key.
Yep.
Yeah, I probably got cut off during the middle of my recap.
Yeah, but I think you hit the gist of it.
Okay, yep. So if you agree to pay people, pay them.
Yeah.
And don't wait for you to get paid to pay the people you pay.
Honor contracts.
Exactly.
Honor contractual agreements. You should probably do that. So I think Legal 101. But
seems like a good idea.
Yeah. And then finally, let's just real quick go through some of the tournament results from this week. We already talked about coDS a lot, but just to wrap it up, Group E, departing, and Los Sierra moved on. Again, like I said, Ryung versus Los Sierra, really fun series. Los Sierra's Zerg play is phenomenally Zergy. Love it.
It was so cool. I mean, of course, I'm saying this. It was a lot of mass ultra, and just the amount of money that he was able to save by continually healing those ultras with a troop of up to 5 or 6 queens at a time was just awesome to see.
Yeah, it was really, really good stuff. And then Group F, winners were Marine King, Hi-oh! And Roro. So stoked for Marine King, first out of his group. And first, he had to be scared there for a minute, man. He lost that first game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh no, he's doing it again. And then he's like, I'm just kidding. I'm going to win the next 4 in a row and advance first out of my group.
Yeah, if you saw his face in the booth after that first game, he was basically like, okay, wasn't expecting that, but time to win.
Sorry, I couldn't see his facial expression. I was too busy staring at his fabulous white Ray-Ban seeing glasses. You know what I'm talking about, Kyle. You need to get yourself a pair of those. You don't wear glasses. What am I talking about?
I need to dye my hair like a light orange, get myself some nice glasses. It'll look good.
Maybe for Halloween this year, for the stream, we'll dress up as our favorite pros.
That would
that'd be interesting. Never know. Anyways, then finally Group G, which was this last night. Sulky and Tajam move on. Sadly, Nesty did not make it. Just didn't really cut it, man. And then tonight, make sure you check out Stefano and DRG. They're going to be playing.
Yep.
So stoked.
Oof.
So very, very stoked. Who else is in that group? I'm trying to pull it up real quick, and it is Innovation and Hack, two Terran that I'm not terribly familiar with. See, Innovation is on STX. Cool. And
interesting.
Hack
Well,
is a StarTale player. Okay.
I would expect to see one of these Zergs get out of here, but hey, if both the Zerg... Well, it really depends who wins in these first matches. Because if we go straight into a ZVZ and TVT, if both Zergs win, they could easily knock each other out.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'd love to see DRG and Stefano being our foreign player just to go on. But hey, I don't know much about Innovation and Hack, so impress me.
Impress me. Yeah, DRG is definitely my favorite for that group, man. Hands down. And then we also had Iron Squid Chapter 2 finally wrapping up. And so many Zergs. Like, dear God, man. Oh, crack this open and look at the top 8. We've got first place Life, second place Dongregu, third place Nesty, so there's 3 Zergs. Fourth place going to Marine King, he's a Terran. Fifth place going to MC. But then 6th, 7th, and 8th place, all Zerg as well. So we got Gosu User, Scarlet, and Stefano. So at the top 8, we've got 6 Zergs.
Yep, but MC representing, so, you can't knock him right now. He's back.
He is. I'm glad to see him back on top. I know in the past I've talked some smack, kind of hating on him because he won too much. Became the Yankees of Korean Protoss.
But it's nice to have a Protoss with so much personality in the scene.
Indeed.
But I mean, this was Iron Squid. Took place in France, taken by all but 2 Korean players. That's the way it goes.
Yep. That's indeed.
Good job, Scarlet, though.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I'd love to see her, up near the top. I'd like to see her actually, take a first place. That'd be great too. So that is that. I believe it brings us to the end of today's episode, unless chat room has any other questions for us. I believe Party in the chat room is a newcomer to eSports. This is asking where we watch these games. Go to gomtv.net, Major League Gaming, NASL.tv. There's tons of good places to see high-level esports matches, or you can just check out like Husky on YouTube or HD StarCraft, man.
Mm-hmm.
Always good.
Yep, and you got your day nines and your other sorts of people to help you learn how to play. On this show particularly, we spend quite a bit of time on GSL because it was the first, and it's the big standard in the industry right now.
Yeah, indeed. Granted, Pro League's definitely kind of taking some of the zeitgeist, but
man, yeah, after all the crap they got for being part of IGN, they have really come into their own.
Yeah. So There is. Oh yes, Glamour has the best answer for any newcomer trying to find something to watch. The Team Liquid sidebar. Go to teamliquid.net and look on the right side. We're there right now. Hi, click on us. But all the good stuff's always there up on the TV. Anything worth watching will be listed on teamliquid.net.
You can even sign up for a Google Calendar that can let you know when everything's going live.
I love that site so much. We were the drama 2 weeks back about all the esports journalism. I was like, I don't know what everyone's so mad about. Just read Team Liquid and ESFI. You'll be fine. You just stick to those two, you'll be good. So, anyways, there is that. So that brings us to the end of the show. Make sure you guys tune in next week. It's going to be episode 138. That's going to fall on February 7th. We have a guest. We have the StarCraft 2 manager for Team Fnatic joining us, Elroy Pinto. So we'll obviously, as always, we're going to be asking for you guys some questions. It's going to have to be pre-recorded because it's a massive time difference. We're going to show it on the live show, and then we'll come on live and we'll talk about the news of the week. May or may not have a guest. I don't know. Might get a friend to come on. But make sure you tune in for that. But make sure you head to the starcast.com/forum or check it out on Team Liquid. We always take questions from the community. We usually have a Reddit thread, a Team Liquid thread, and a thread on our own personal forums. So if you've got any questions about what it's like to kind of manage players like the StarCraft 2 division of a major esports team, write in, ask. It'd be great. You can send questions to starcastshow@gmail.com. We'll always take them there. But,
also, next week, we're going to be announcing the winner of the meme contest.
Indeed, we will. This is your last chance. Quote me on this.
This is actually last chance. It ends in 4 hours.
It really, really does. We'll take submissions tomorrow. We'll give the podcast people some time. And let's be honest, if you're a little late, since we don't have a show on Thursday, if you really make us laugh, we might let you slide.
Sure.
But anyways, just so you know what you got to do, you got to make a meme based off of something that happened on StarCast. You got to make a StarCast meme. You can either use a picture of us, you can use a meme that already exists. We don't care. It's easy. You send that meme to starcastshow@gmail.com. Whoever we think is the funniest is going to win a copy of Heart of the Swarm, a retail copy. It will show up on your door on launch day, courtesy of doghousesystems.com. They're sponsoring this. They're giving us this copy to give away, and the one we gave away on Christmas. So do it. Do it now. Go, run, don't walk, unless you're carrying scissors. To make a StarCast meme. So there is that. And don't forget, Doghouse Systems also giving away a life-size replica of Kerrigan's sniper rifle from the Betrayal cinematic from Wings of Liberty.
So awesome.
So if you go to doghousesystems.com and you buy one of their amazing, just sexy, nerd boner inducing gaming rigs, and use the code Kerrigan, you'll be entered to win that rifle that has been estimated worth $1,200 after it's all said and done. It's going to be truly awesome. Big thanks to Bill Duran of Punish Props for putting that together.
Yeah, also, if you want to get yourself excited, go to Bill Duran's site and look at some of his previous props.
Oh yeah, that man is great. Maybe we'll have to. What we should do, and I only thought about this. We should try and get a hold of him and have him on the show after he's done building the thing.
Ooh, yes.
I'd love to talk to him, like what that was like. Kind of putting the thing together, and I'm sure he'll have video of it too, and we can work that in somehow. But yeah, man, do that. Go check it out. That code, by the way, Kerrigan, can be paired with our regular code, StarCast. So you'll get entered to win the rifle, but you'll also get double memory for free. So 4 gigs to 8 gigs, 8 gigs to 16 gigs. And that's where it ends, because if you go any further, you just rip a hole in time and space. And the doctor would have to come and save us all. And he can't be bothered with that. He has more important things to do.
Exactly. Like saving that girl. You know what I'm talking about. The one that really annoyed you. You hated that the companion.
Oh, Martha Jones?
Everyone hates a different one. I'm letting them imagine which one they hate.
Oh, probably. So you hated Donna, right?
Yes.
Okay. I don't mind Donna so much. I definitely hated her in the first episode she shows up in. Now that she's back, she's not as, because she's over her, what's going on? Oh my God, stage. Now she's kind of calmed down. She's comical, but smart enough. I don't know. I like her.
Yeah, no, once she came into her own, a little more confident. But that was the journey of her character.
Yes, exactly. So I'm loving the crap out of Doctor Who. Really enjoying it. I'm coming to the end of 10's run, and I'm not prepared. I'm not ready. I'm kind of sad. 9 is still my favorite, but I am quite attached to 10 as well.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah. I'd like to, just real quick, pimp our YouTube, which for the longest time was just a piece of garbage that we never updated. But we have been updating it every week like clockwork the day after the show is aired. So go to youtube.com/StarCastShow and hit subscribe. The Carbot episode has done wonderfully. The rest of our episodes, not so much, because we haven't been promoting it worth a damn. So go over there, hit subscribe, support us on YouTube. We'd love to have more views and more subscribers, so go check that out. StarCast is a production of amove.tv. Go to amove.tv, bookmark that site. There's all sorts of wonderful shows over there. Make sure you tune into the Gamers Inn tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. TheStarCast.com is the website for this here show, and that's the place to go. We've got our forums, our archives, we've got t-shirts for sale, and tons more. You can catch us live every Thursday night right here on twitch.tv/AMUTV. And you can email the show at starcastshow@gmail.com. You can call us at 941-882-0281. Leave us a message, question, comment, tell us we smell funny. I don't know. I'm not sure how you could even smell us through the internet, but that does not matter.
I'd still be hurt. Like, that's impossible, but I think I smell all right.
Yeah, exactly. You follow us on Twitter. This show is at the StarCast because at StarCast is taken, so make sure you put that THE in front. You can follow me at Garrett Art, ART at the end. You can follow Kyle at Kyle Ferguson, and big thanks to our production crew, Octane Pro and Captain Noobing. Check out Kyle and I's other show, This Week in Blizz. It's on the same channel. It's every Monday. We talk about Diablo, we talk about World of Warcraft, and we talk more StarCraft because we love the game so damn much. Kyle, where can people find you?
You can find me at Biggest Fan Podcast, where we follow the fad that's driving you mad. And this week, Garrett, I'm doing something that drives you mad.
A lot of things drive me mad. What?
Well, it happens to involve leg locomotion and the living dead.
Leg locomotion? Marathoning?
No, The Walking Dead, the series.
Oh!
The books, the video game.
Oh, I thought you meant like that I didn't like. Oh, I love The Walking Dead.
Yes.
I'm a huge fan.
I'm talking like mad in like the British sense, like the Alice in Wonderland sense.
I'm mad as a Walking Dead hatter. Dude, I freaking love Walking Dead. So you say, now you and I, we talk about this all the time, and you say, every time I talk to you, like, I just have not gone on the Walking Dead train yet. So are you actually watching the show?
Not yet, but this weekend I am.
Are you gonna be, what seasons are you watching?
I've been told to only watch season 2, but I'm going to at least check out the pilot of episode 1.
What? Wait, no. Can I steer you in the right direction?
Sure.
Ignore 2 completely because it's shit. Watch all of season 1 because it's amazing. And I would argue that if you wanted to skip anything, you could probably just start from the beginning of season 3.
But don't I need to, like, see the guy in the coma or something?
Season 1 is really good. I'm just saying, the way they pick up season 3, you could just start there and be fine.
Oh, okay.
But season 2 is crap. Like, it is absolute garbage. There's maybe 3 the whole season could have been 3 episodes. They just drug it out. I don't know why.
Interesting. Writer strike, maybe. I don't know.
There wasn't one. I really honestly don't know. I mean, there are some good episodes. The last 2 are pretty freaking good. But the season as a whole, you will hate that show if you watch only season 2.
Have you played the video game?
The good one, yes. From Telltale?
Yeah. Oh, there's a bad one?
There's one that I think Activision just put out or is putting out that looks terrible.
Oh. Well, the Tail dudes, they're good. They did the Back to the Future one and like Sam and Max, and they have a long history of doing those sort of adventures.
Yeah, but they also have a long history of not making them particularly good. I heard Back to the Future was meh, and Jurassic Park was an epic just fail of massive proportions. But
oh, yeah, that was disappointing. I really wanted to play that, too.
Yeah, but I will say that all of the hype around the Walking Dead game is true. It is an amazing experience.
I still don't understand why they don't just give me Jurassic Park Roller Coaster Tycoon. Why don't I have this?
You have an iPhone, right?
Yeah.
Go download Jurassic Park Builder. It's a free app. It's pretty fun. I've been
playing
the
okay,
crap out of
good.
it. It's not super in-depth. It's really streamlined. It's very Farmville-esque. Like they don't have nearly as much of the micromanagement that I would enjoy.
Yeah.
But you still get to lay out your own Jurassic Park, so I've been enjoying that.
I mean, basically what I want is Tycoon / first-person shooter, where whenever the dinosaurs escape, you need to drive out in your, kind of Far Cry style. Drive out in your SUV or your Mercedes, as it were, in the movie, and with your gun, shoot a T-Rex. That's what I want.
Yeah.
I'd let the animals escape. Put them in the wrong pens, make them fight each other. All the stuff you used to do. Make bad roller coasters so everyone dies.
They shoot directly into the T-Rex paddock.
Yep, that's what tycoons are about.
That'd be wonderful. Oh, very, very cool. I hope you enjoy The Walking Dead, dude. But seriously, heed my warning. Watch Season 1, not Season 2. So
Will do.
There is that. Check out my website, nomoonart.com, NOMOONART.com, for my design work. If you ever need XSplit graphics, Twitch stuff, all that jazz. I do a lot of design freelance, so shoot me an email. Put me to work. I love the work. So please go check out our sponsors. We already talked about them, but it's always worth mentioning again. DogHouseSystems.com. Our code is StarCast. It gets you double memory. Use the code Kerrigan as well and win yourself a Kerrigan rifle if you're one of the lucky winners. That same code, StarCast, gets you 30% off and free shipping on your entire order of earbuds from tweakedaudio.com. That's TWEAKED audio.com. I love my earbuds, and I now have 2 pairs, one for working out and one for everything else, which I just got a DS for my birthday, so I've been using the crap out of them to not annoy my girlfriend with all the Pokemon noises that's been coming from the left side of the bed. So there's that. And SC2quoteoftheday.com. Follow them on Twitter at SC2quotes, and go check out their store on their website. They've got some awesome t-shirts. So that is it for this episode of StarCast. Again, tune in next week for Elroy Pinto, the SC2 manager for Team Fnatic, and we'll see you guys then. Good luck and have fun.
Take care.